What's happening, people? It's another episode of The Giants Guy. It's the podcast you love to hate. And I am back with all sorts of very cool stuff that we're going to talk about. It is week 2 in the DB room breakdown. I'm going to bring in the crew. We have a special guest lined up, which we're totally excited about because I don't understand what people want to hang out with us, but we pay them to hang out with us. So let's bring them in to hang out. I got Spartan Mike.
What's up, Mike? Man?
I got Zane. Bang. What's up, Zane?
What's going on? Belt guys in the house.
And we're going to introduce our special guest who's going to help us chop it up today, the co-host of 3rd and 3 Sportscast. And let's put it a little applause together for Nikki. Let's bring her in.
Yay, hi.
How are you, my friend?
How are you guys? Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're feeling Giants football like right around the corner, so we're pretty excited.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited. I can't wait. This is really like where the football withdrawal starts to kick in, right? It's like July, like mid-July. It's like, oh my God, come on, training camp, rookies, it's like, let's get going. So super excited. And because I think the Giants are going to have a better year than most people think. So I'm excited.
Well, we're gonna get all into that in a second. Housekeeping. 1, thanks for listening to another episode and tuning in to the Giants guys. 2, you guys are, of course, familiar with nygiantsrush.com. Make sure you're up there. We want to make sure we let people know we are partnered with Leonard Marshall for his Ring of Honor ceremony. We are going to and printing a T-shirt out that says Marshall on the back, Giants on the front, number 70. And we're going to do autographed version and a non-autographed version. So, and that money, we're going to donate proceeds to his foundation, which is about security on college campuses. So it's pretty cool. So if you're out there and you want a shirt, a pre-order shirt, let me know. And we're probably going to have them probably by Friday of next week. So,
and Craig, remind the fans real quick, we will have video proof of Leonard signing these shirts so that they know that they're legit.
Yeah, that's why Spartan Mike is here to always keep me in check. Yeah, I'm going to bring him to Leonard's house, get him signed, and we'll do a little video to make sure you have that authenticity because I want everybody to know that they were actually signed by him and not me or my grandmother or something like that. Last but not least is, guys, we last week rolled out Cordell Flott. We ripped it up. We got knee deep into it. Where each week we're going to talk about, and we talk about a lot of stuff here, right? But we're going to talk about the DB room. And I prepped Nikki on that. We're going to do Julian Love. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of background, of course, on Julian Love. Then I'm going to turn it over to you guys. One is I love Notre Dame football players. So he was a Notre Dame player. He can play safety. He can play corner. He's known for not allowing much separation between him and the receiver. He's an exceptional tackler and open field tackler, which means a lot to me because you don't see a lot of that nowadays. He needs to work on his hands a little bit, tends to drop a couple of those picks that might be easy, but he was also a runner-up for the Jim Thorpe Award. And by the way, for you trivia nuts, 2018 was won by DeAndre Baker, which was a Giant. So, Zane, I'm going to kick it to you. Give me a little bit about what should we know about Love when he was like a Notre Dame player? Why did the Giants pick him? What did he do well there? Because here's the thing about Love. We know he is called duct tape. We know he's that Swiss Army knife. We know he can play inside, outside. He can play safety, free or strong. He can play corner. He can play slot. He can do a lot of things. Zane, why was he even a fit for the Giants to begin with?
Sure. Before I begin, shout out to Nikki. Appreciate you coming on, man. Always a good conversation. Happy to have you here. The show can always use a woman's touch, and God knows it ain't coming from us. So
that is true.
It'd be good to get your opinion on things. So Julian Love, coming out of college, highly touted, had an incredible 2018, as you mentioned. If you actually move a little bit back and you go to any analyst ranking list, any mock draft, Julian Love was a consensus 4th or 5th best cornerback in college football. He was right there on early second round. So he was very, very highly talented because of what you said. He could play man, he could play inside, outside zone, all this good stuff. Now in the NFL, I don't think that's translated as much to play inside. I think he gets cut up in the slot because that's where his 2020 went bad. He did not have a good 2020. statistically speaking, because they had him playing in the slot.
I don't think anybody played well in 2020, Zane.
No, defense was the best year, right? That was the best defense.
It was a good year. That's when Patrick Graham had that top 10 defense.
Yeah.
He individually didn't do well in 2020, and that's because they had him playing over the slot a lot more. Remember, he wasn't playing outside corner, right? They had DeAndre at that point before things went terribly wrong. We had James Bradbury, who had his only Pro Bowl season, so he didn't have as many snaps. He was rotating, and they tried to find a spot for him. Now, he's a tad bit slow, which is his biggest thing, right? He doesn't have top end speed. He runs like a 4.5, 4.55. Yep. So when he's on the outside, which he primarily should be, if he was to play cornerback, because that's where he was in college, he's about technique, instinct, all those intangibles we talk about. Like I said, short field tackle, does not miss a lot of tackles. Now he's moved over to the safety spot because, again, they didn't really have cornerback open. There's a little opening right now, but let's see what happens with Aaron Robinson. But what you need to know about Julian Love and why is he duct tape and why he's smart. Let's just get to the bottom line. He's very, very intelligent. He supersedes his athleticism, which is why he was where he was in college. He wasn't, again, the most athletic guy. He's not that big. He's like 5'10", 180. Not a big guy at all. So he has to use his intelligence, anticipation, film room guy, probably studies really, really well. That's what makes him so valuable in this system and probably why he was drafted.
So I'm going to show right now. It's about it's a little long. I can cut it short. It's about 2 minutes long. I'm going to show you what David Deal thinks of Love for 2019, because he had that spectacular rookie year. Let's watch this.
Yep. We're back for another edition of Inside the Film Room, presented by Sharp. John Schmelk, David Deal with you. And today, Dave, we'll take a look at 2019 fourth-round pick Julian Love, who really found a home at safety early in the year for the Giants, this time using his instincts and his vision to force a turnover.
Yeah, you love what Julian Love brings to this football team. Versatility, whether it's playing safety, whether it's playing corner. He's a very intelligent player that picks up a lot of what the offense does pre-snap. This play I put up his first interception on the season. This was at Chicago, both of our hometowns. I just put this one for strictly effort. This is a cover 2 scheme by the New York Giants. This is a typical tip drill. Swarm to the football and good things happen. Comes away with a nice interception and run after as well.
Next play, Dave, Giants in a 2-high coverage as well. This time, Love shows his range to get all the way from his position to the sideline to come up with the play to prevent the deep pass.
Yeah, once again, the Giants are sitting here playing cover 2. You see them deep. This is Julian Love right here playing that spot, playing the deep third. And the thing that you love about this play is you see his eyes. He's following the quarterback. He's diagnosing where he's trying to go with it. Once he sees that ball released, makes a clean break for it. This should have been another interception, but a nice PBU on his part.
And then later in the year, Dave, you mentioned his versatility. He had to play cornerback in Week 17 against Dallas, and he did a really nice job. It's something he did a lot in Notre Dame and stepped up at the end of the year.
No question, and you're going to see him on the outside right here going up against Amari Cooper. He understands that he's got help on the inside. He sees Xavier McKinney on the inside, so he knows I can play the sticks. I can play the numbers. Watching the route, and watch. Once that football comes out, makes a clean break on the football, gets his hands once again in the inside. That's once again those picks that you have to come away with when you're a defensive back.
And Dave, here you take a look at his tackling ability, but the real play comes before the tackle when he has to navigate all the way across the field through a lot of bodies, a lot of traffic to make the play.
No question. When it comes to Kyle Shanahan, we know pre-snap, a lot of smoke and mirrors, a lot of motions, and they initially start with a motion over. Okay. They identify that it's man on the backside. That's why they're motioning over with it. So there's one motion. Here comes the second motion. We're going to move over the tight end and watch Julian Love. I want you guys to watch him. His responsibility here is the tight end. So you got 1-on-1. Watch him in the back end. Watch all this traffic go through and make a play off of this play action pass. This is not an easy play for any safety when you're watching all this happen right when you're down in the red zone. Once again, here's this other angle. I want you to put yourself right now in the lens of Julian Love. Watch everything that's taken place on this play before the ball is snapped and when the ball is snapped. There's the one motion. Here comes the second motion. You're going to see the play action. Watch him fight through the traffic in order to come up with a clean tackle and a nice play for Julian Love. Not many people can get through traffic and avoid Blake Martinez in order to come up with that one.
And Dave, that's designed as a natural rub route to create the open player, and Love does a great job preventing that. That's today's edition of Inside the Film Room, presented by Sharp. For David Deal, I'm John Schmelk. Thanks for being with us, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Woo! I love that, man. I can watch that all day long.
Can we just watch highlights? Because that's
Yeah.
pumped up.
I totally love that. Like I said, a little bit of an undersized safety.
What's one of the first things that David Deal said? Intelligent. That's what got him here. That's what's going to keep him here. He's extremely smart, great instinct.
Right.
Again, sure, he lacks a little bit of athleticism, absolutely, but there's a reason he plays really well. The only downside so far is he hasn't gotten to play a lot. He's only played about 50% of the snaps on defense. So he doesn't get a big workload. He gets rotated in and out a lot, which I think will continue because I think he'll play safety.
Well, let's, Nikki, I'm going to kick it to you. Just, I'm sure, you're familiar with the player. You have your opinion of the player. Me personally, I like the fact that he is very versatile, but I like the fact that they went into this year and they didn't think, hey, Love can't do the job. He looks like he's penciled in as the starter. And I got to have a feeling that for a new staff, they must have saw something right away in him.
Yeah, I think so. And I think, that's key. We have to keep in mind that he has literally been all over the field. So he hasn't been a full-time starter. So I did bring some stats with me. So 700, this is since he's been a Giant, 713 snaps at free safety, 401 snaps at slot cornerback, 367 snaps as a box safety, 188 snaps as a boundary cornerback, and 69 snaps as a linebacker. So we want to talk about versatility. I think he is the epitome of versatility. So I'm really super excited for him, hopefully to get the full-time, spot. Like you guys said, it seems like he's penciled in. And he's excited. He had said to the media, I'm really excited. Wink Martindale is aggressive. I know you guys put that out, right? I think I retweeted that. And that's what we need. And I think this Giants defense is going to get back to that old school defense that we know and love. So I'm really excited for him this year.
What's interesting too, Nikki, is I went to his website because he has a julianlove.com website. Mm-hmm. The first two things that jumped out of me is that it has a picture of him, and underneath it says cornerback of the New York Giants. It doesn't even say safety. So that kind of struck a chord with me. And then underneath it says, wherever they want me, I'm ready to play. So, he's not being a diva. He wants to be on the field. So, and those stats are spot on. Like the cat plays at numerous positions because he can handle the playbook. He can handle what they're asking him.
Well, player quality aside, there's no question about this guy. He's extremely smart, and he's also a great team player too, right? And that carries a lot of weight because, at this level, somebody that's versatile, but has had a couple bumps in the road, if you will, or hasn't quite proven himself by year 4 to be that, for sure starter. If they had a bad attitude or something like that, they're generally off the team already. There's no question asked that they were going to give him that 4th year. The team loved him.
Spartan.
Yeah.
Let me throw the wrench in here. Like, we're just painting roses and we're like, oh, he's so awesome. He hasn't been a starter, right? He's a little undersized. He's penciled in. What's the other side of the coin, Spartan? Because
the other side of the coin is always this. And I'm not critical of the guy, and I want him to explode next year.
You got to say it how it is. Like, it's not going to be very easy. He's not a thumper, right? He's not going to be.
The bottom line is this, right? We always talk about versatility, and Lord, the Giants have had so many guys over the past few years that you can argue are so versatile. They can do this position. They can do this. They're fast. Yep. They're great tackling. They can rush. They can drop into coverage. The problem is they haven't had a lot of guys that can do one job very well, enough to the point where they can consistently bring it every week at that position. And while I look at Julian Love and I say, you know what, I will say this, of all the guys who haven't consistently started for the Giants that are on the team over the past 3 years, he's that best non-starter guy, right? Sure. He has been there.
Let me comment on that, dude, Spartan, because you know why you're nailing that? Because the Giants for the last 10 years have been, let's stick a round peg in a square hole. Can we make this guy play this position? Can we make this guy play this position? Like,
yes. And you see that a lot of these guys can do that one thing. Positions, but they can't do it. They can't perform top 20 in any of those positions. And Julian Love hasn't done that yet, but I think he's a better fit in Wink's system, and especially playing quarterback. Because one of his biggest problems.
You think he's a better corner than a safety in this system?
I'm sorry, safety. Right. I think overall in this system, like the one thing that he kind of struggles with a little bit at free safety is If it's press defense, you saw that he plays pretty well. If there's a lot of field in front of him and the guy catches the ball and he wasn't on that guy, then his tackling isn't excellent. And it's very difficult to do that. Not a lot of free safeties are able to do that at a high caliber, but that's one of the areas that he struggles with. And, you would hope that he's able to execute on these tackles and not make already big plays even bigger than they have to be.
How about this right here?
Sure.
He drops the ball a lot. I mean, anytime he's got an opportunity, you heard that on the highlight, I just showed you 3 plays that he did well, but in 2 of the 3 plays, he could have had an interception and dropped it twice.
You know what's funny?
What do they say about DBs? DBs are wide receivers with bad hands.
Yeah.
So,
do you know what's funny? In high school, he was a two-way player. He played offense.
That's still
that's typically expected though. With that,
he was actually kind of good. He played running back and wide receiver. He was actually pretty productive even in Chicago. So the fact that he can drop open ones,
Yep. I've always said, if you can't play wide receiver, you play DB. Because you don't have the hands, right? And listen, and I'm not knocking him because I've always been a fan. Nikki, you gave me 700. 800 snaps you gave me. Yeah. I mean, he probably could have had 4 or 5 interceptions there, a couple broken passes. Yes, but are you concerned at all that as a starter, he just doesn't have the hands to be able to look anything around Xavier McKinney, XMC picks the ball off. We don't see that out of Love. Does that concern you at all?
Yeah, of course. I think it has to be a concern, right? That's going to be a concern for anybody. But like you guys have been saying, I do think Wink's system is really, really, really going to fit for him. He has totally bought into it, and he is really excited. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I know Patrick Graham had a good year, but I have not loved our defensive coordinators as of late. But Wink Martindale, he's the one that can do it.
Spartan, any thought to running 3 safeties high? Because we brought was it Dane in? Is there an opportunity you think that XMC, Love, and a third player would be on the field at one time?
From the safety position?
Well, yeah, because again, we don't have great corners, right? They're young and unproven. With any thought of running 3 safeties?
I'll say one, right? I think Adoree Jackson doesn't get enough credit. He started off a little bit slow, and it wasn't really his fault. They kept putting him over 6'8" tight ends. He's only 5'10". I don't know why they kept doing that.
Well,
but I think on one side he actually had a pretty good season.
Yeah. Oh no, he did. But remember, the CB2 spot is a little bit suspect right now, right?
I'm just saying, not corners at one spot. We're all wondering what's going to happen with Aaron Robinson, or they signed a vet off the fifth. We don't know. But on one side, I think you're okay.
So and the goal could be, Zane, great point. Somebody gets cut from the Saints, somebody gets cut from the Dolphins. You pick up another guy. But I'm wondering if for any reason they don't pick someone up, if we see potential 3 safety sets. Anybody care to jump in on that? Because here's the thing. I'd
be a little surprised. I would be a little surprised.
Okay. Why?
Because I feel like the nickel package as it is right now, and correct me where I go wrong here if there's any mishaps, right? Is it not cornerbacks? It's going to be Robinson,
Holmes.
I'm drawing a blank on the second guy.
You're going to fight it out with Holmes and Flott and
then I totally see Holmes being that guy early on at least, but then they're going to rotate Flott in a little bit. Remember, Love's not the only guy that's versatile back there. So when you ask the question whether they're going to drop safeties or cornerbacks, a lot of these guys have played safety and cornerback, right? So I think they're just going to figure out what 5 set works best back there and just kind of go from there.
Because I'm drawing a blank. What's Dane's last name? Is it Belton?
Belton.
Yeah, he could play safety too, safety and linebacker. So there's a little bit of opportunity to run with some bigger guys back there. I feel, again, feel free to jump in. I think it's Love's job to lose. No?
I agree.
I would assume so.
You guys all agree with that. All right.
Cornerback, no doubt about it.
So, but at the same time, again, I think you got to watch out for Dane Belton a little bit. Lots of good rumblings coming out about him. He's really like another Jabril Peppers type, right? He can play that box, carry the tight end. He's extremely fast. He can lay the wood, Julian Wood can, but Love can't, but Belton can't. So I'm curious. But again, a rookie's a rookie. I don't know how much is going to be put on, but I'm very curious on what it's going to look like. Right? What is Wink going to do? Is it going to go single high cover 2? What's it going to be? How's he playing this?
So I'm looking at the guys in the chat, and of course
we got Mark Thompson's comment. Is that what
exactly? I'm gonna pop up Mark's comment here. From the Caribbean, always supports the show. Nikki, just so you know, we're here every single Tuesday at 8:00, right? We've got Tuto from Italy, and we got Mark from the Caribbean, and both of them bring such great content to the show. I'm gonna pop up Mark's comment here and read it. It says, I think we're overlooking Jared Williams as a converted safety who could be a versatile piece and who Coach Henderson has spoken highly of. I hear that, Mark. My question is how many are you going to keep? You can't keep 5 safeties. It just won't happen. So, you know what I mean? Maybe as a practice squad player, or he's going to have to play out of his mind, Mark, to make that team with Belton, Love, XMC in front of him. And maybe there's a shot for the 4th safety. He's got an uphill battle. I'm not saying he can't play special teams either. I mean, I don't know if anybody has a comment on that, but I think he's got an uphill battle.
He actually did pretty good at corner in a very small sample size. He was actually one of their best corners. So I wasn't surprised that they kept him. Kind of surprised they're moving him out to safety. They seem to be doing a lot of safety corner movements. So I don't know what that means just yet. Again, it could be, there you go, like Chris said, it could be the fact that Wink just wants to be able to put you in a place and you need to just be comfortable for that play or that package, or that they just didn't feel like he could play that corner since A-Rob seems to be given every chance right now. I mean, it's his job to lose on the outside too. I don't see anybody outside of him getting looks at CB2.
And again, can I add something real quick too? I feel like a lot of these guys in the defensive backs are they're each on their own bell curve, right? They can either boom, succeed, or bust, and this is kind of the prove it year. I just feel like Jaron Williams' bell curve is a little shifted back right now. So I just don't think they're expecting much. He'd have to do a lot to prove himself. He's got to consistently do it. He can't just have 2 good preseason games. He would literally have to flourish the entire training camp to earn that spot.
All right. So we chopped him up pretty good. 23 minutes. We've just talked about it. Guys, next week, so we've covered Flott, who's got a chance to get some starting time. We covered I think unless you guys have any final comments and you want to talk about it right now, one is I think the job is penciled in for Love. It sounds like, as Nikki said, he's got a lot of snaps at a lot of different positions. So for any reason, and again, you looked at the highlight that I ran, he played corner versus Dallas because they needed him to. So in a pinch, right, he could become your 5th corner. Right.
And that's important, right? Adoree Jackson always gets hurt. So for 3 or 4 games, you might see Julian Love have to pop out and be your CB2 regardless, or your CB1.
Exactly. So 1 is he's not going anywhere. 2, there's a good chance he's the starting. And I don't even know. I will say this. I will cry naive if Wink runs a strong and a free, or he runs 2 equal frees. I don't know if you want to calculate it down all the way down to free and strong, but he's going to be penciled in as the starter. And I think it's a new day, right? We got a new defensive coordinator who loves pressure, and who knows? Maybe he's Love's not overly fast. You're not going to see him blitzing off the corner, but maybe someone else. I think the Giants are in good hands. They're going to be tested a lot. How do we give those guys a break in the backfield? Well, this is probably the best pass rush we've had, in years. So getting to the quarterback will give those guys a little bit of reprieve. All right. So I didn't want to talk about this because it's so polarizing every single week. And I'm going to throw this at you. I didn't tell you guys we were going to talk about this, but it's the elephant in the room for me because it's underneath my skin. It's making me crazy. And if you haven't seen it, and we don't normally talk, there's 2 guys, Nikki, we don't normally talk about on a regular basis, and that's Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones. We'll do a little bit of it, but it's...
Before you shift gears, on the thing that's bothering you, contract year for Julian Love, don't forget that.
Always play better in your contract year, right?
It makes a difference. Yeah, that little extra everything you get from God, you got to get that next one. It's an audition, right? So it makes a little bit of difference. So I expect his best.
Yeah, I'm looking just through definitely work on his hands. He can play man. He can like you just said, he can play bump and run in hand. He can play in space. It's just so funny how DeAndre Baker wins the Thorpe Trophy and then gets booted off the team. It's pretty funny.
Let's not talk about him. So what's going to end up happening is they're going to move XMC a lot. XMC again to me is your version of the Honey Badger. He's your Tyrann Mathieu, where you can move him around a lot and do a lot with him. So when he does that, boom, Julian Love is your free safety. Yep. When XMC needs to go drop back, boom, Julian Love can move down a little bit to box move. So he'll get plenty of snaps.
And for anybody who is not overly familiar with his work, I'll leave you with these two statements. One, he's an exceptional open field tackler, and like almost like Aaron Ross was back in the day. He's an exceptional open field tackler, which I love, and he doesn't allow a lot of separation between him and the receiver. Guys that Julian Love are covering, they don't break free and run down the field. He's always, even if he's a step behind, to Zane's point, he's not straight line fast, so he may be a step behind, but he's got a pretty good first step to the ball. He's always around the receiver. You're not going to see Julian Love getting burnt a lot on one-on-one. I think you're in good hands. Yes, everybody agree? Or does anybody have maybe skeletons in the closet on Julian Love and like, oh, did you know this? Like Nikki, are you going to come with something like, but did you know this?
No, I think it's actually for once, this is a good problem to have, right? Oh, we got all these versatile guys and who, we haven't had this in a really long time. So I'm pumped for it.
But now to put him down a little bit, right? Let's put him down a little bit because it's got to be both sides of it. He does give up a lot of completions. He does give up over 70%. He gives up yards. If you target him, he's going to give it up. So there's a reason he potentially hasn't been a starter yet. And there's a reason he fell to the fourth just a little bit. So can he succeed? Absolutely. Am I rooting for him? 100%. Is he perfect? Not at all. There's a reason he's not starting yet, right? It's year 4. He would have been starting if he was that good already.
And like Giants fans, we got a lot of defensive back players that are on the fence right now.
Yeah,
I have a feeling
a lot of babies, right?
We got a lot of babies, but we also got the Darnay Holmes of the world and whatnot. And look, I'm a little worried about defensive back. There's no doubt about it. But I do think that we have a lot of guys that are on the fence, and I suspect a couple of them could make it over that hump. And if they could do that, then we pretty much have a set secondary minus one for real shutdown corner. But I like the direction that this is going.
Let me put a bow on it this way. Don't have extremely high hopes for, this knockdown, shutdown defensive backfield this year. We're going to cover everyone on the roster. Next week, we will cover Robinson. We're going to dig into Robinson next week. But just to put a bow on it, look, they're young, they're inexperienced, they're versatile. They're going to get picked on. Okay.
If they finish top 20, I'm perfectly happy with our defensive back. Yes, we will talk about it.
This specific year, what's up, Dash? This specific year is all about the pass rush, giving the youngsters, the kids a little bit of reprieve. You know what I mean? They don't have to be awesome in 2022. 2023, they're going to have to be awesome. But for this year, it's about
Love's going to have to be pretty awesome to get him to return.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was about to say he might not even be here.
He won't be here in 2023.
We'll see.
All right. Let's keep moving on because I gotta bring this up.
All right, Daniel Jones talk. Ready, go.
No, opposite. Totally opposite. I got
talk.
We're not doing Jones except for the beard thing just definitely caught me off guard.
Davis Webb.
Okay. You know what? I do want to do this side note. Want to give a shout out to Tommy G. Tommy G has an opportunity in front of him. Tommy G was with us for a little while. He's going to have his own show called Tommy's Takes on the Giants Country podcast. We want to give him a shout out and a pound for that. So thanks, Tommy G, for everything you contribute to the NY Giants Rush fam. All right. So I wanted to kind of wait till the show to let everybody know what Tommy's doing. Tommy's Takes. Definitely follow him and check that out. And we're super stoked that he's going to get that cool opportunity to do his own thing. So if you haven't already reached out to him, congratulate him. And if you follow Tommy G, just reach out and give him a little pound. All right, today, just raise your hand if you saw a bunch of Saquon Barkley training videos.
Oh, I didn't. Did you release this?
You guys suck. All right.
I do.
So, you guys, there is 4 or 5 Saquon Barkley videos out there today about some kind of training session he's doing, right? And it's basically working on footwork, right? It's got a bag. He's lined up behind the bag. Actually, it starts off with him on a line, and it's like it's a left, right, left, right, left, right, a bunch of muscle memory, horizontal, lateral movement, and then he takes off. And then the next one is there's a bag in front of him, and he's left, right, left, right, left, right, bunch of lateral movement, and he takes off. And I want to stick a pen in my eye socket because like we all know that he's a lateral back. We need him to hit the hole hard and fast, maybe put a shoulder into a linebacker and get a first down or a touchdown or run behind the guard. Like, and here he is, like, and I like Saquon Barkley. I'm not a Saquon Barkley hater at all. I want to see this cat do well, come back, get paid, go to Super Bowl, whatever it is. But man, pumping out a bunch of videos, watching him like juke behind the line just as a loss of 3 yards to me. So, it's killing me because all we need Saquon Barkley to do is hit the hole as hard and fast as you can. And just for the once in God's green earth, drop a shoulder on a linebacker with those humongous quads that you have. Just drop some power on somebody and get a first down or bounce to the second level, get a touchdown. I don't want to see this shifting back and forth thing. Like, we've seen that.
But in all fairness, that's who he is. How much do you want him to change his game? He was that coming out of college. He's that in the NFL.
Because every guy has to run back
to that square round hole conversation, right? You got to use him as he is. If you want him running up the gut like Elliott, that's not happening. If you don't want him to dance, he's gonna dance. He's gonna bachata. He's gonna do all of that back there because that's what he does. So what's gonna end up happening now is, and I think this is a big thing we talked about last year. He played scared, right? Yeah. Confidence was down, and you could see it. He didn't want to get touched. He broke a handful of runs to the outside. He saw someone coming. He didn't go forward. He went right out of bounds. Like, nope, don't touch me.
So look. ACL, MCL injury, yeah, it's on your mind, right? It's on your mind. 2 years removed.
Yep.
Every running back in the National Football League, there's only 1,800 guys in the league. It's the most elite job on the planet, outside maybe a Navy SEAL. And you gotta, in the NFL, you still have to run between the tackles. You cannot say, "Ho, coach, I don't do that. I only go that way." It just can't happen. You got to have a back that runs between the tackles at some point and get tough yards.
Sure, but at the same time, when you don't have a Will Hernandez or Nate Soldier blowing up on every freaking
I know. It's the line, too. It's the line.
I think it'll be okay.
Yeah.
I think a lot of his dancing was, I got to dance. I'm going to get smacked.
I know. I think so. Look, I think this new line is going to help solidify the run game. I feel better about this line than I have in a long time, right? Don't you guys?
Yeah. Now, you know what?
Absolutely, especially a tackle, and that's what more important than guard. I'm not saying I don't care who's a guard, but we can suffice with average guards. We can't suffice with average tackles.
No.
I just tweeted out about PFF, and again, take that with what you want. I don't live and die by it. It's just a metric, right? It's a metric. Use it how you want. But they actually did a ranking of O-lines towards the end of the year and going to 2022. Where do you think they're going? And they had the Giants go from 30 to about 18. And guess what? I'll take that in a heartbeat. I'll take that in a heartbeat.
18, yeah. Yep.
That's right where I need them. That middle of the pack, that's all you need to be a competent, sufficient offense. You can win with that. Now, if you can't win with that, then it's 100% your quarterback. 100%.
It's the quarterback. We have a quarterback issue.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, you guys don't talk about that here.
No. We talk about.
I want to hear your thoughts on this now.
Come on, now you've opened the can up.
We get tired of listening to each other. We want to hear you talk.
Well, time out. Just listen to me one more time. Can I say one last thing about Saquon real quick? We're talking about, he's a shifty running back. That is his strength. He's not going to automatically turn to Derrick Henry. That's very hard for running backs to change their game style. It's not going to happen. You can pretty much write that one off. My problem with Saquon, and if he has a great year, then so be it. Then I'm all good with it. But the shifty running back play doesn't translate very well in the NFL. It did his rookie year because he did it so well. But I don't think that's ever coming back. He's been injured multiple times with his legs. We always talk about that's his value set, the shiftiness. It's not there anymore. And I don't think that's going to come back after recovering from all the injuries he's had the last few years. So I just wanted to get that in there.
Spartan, make sure when we're done, and all you folks out there, all you guys in the chat room, look it up. It's I'm telling you, if I had an ice pick, I would have stuck it in my eye socket because I was like,
you've used it twice now, Craig. You can't stick toothpicks.
The first time it was a pen.
It was a pen.
Oh, it was.
He does
Okay.
have 2 eyes, right? He's got 2 eyes, so if he wants to go blind.
See, Zane's got my back.
There we go. Pen in this eye, toothpick in this one.
Something just because I don't want to see that. It's unnecessary. You're just showing me fluff.
You don't want to see it when it doesn't work, but when it works, you love it. That's just what it is, right? It's in the cards. When it works, it's like,
I'll be very happy for
it. Freaking
How did you do that? I'm more than happy to, Zane. You know me. Come on.
Yeah. And on top, no one's saying we don't want to see it happen to him break. We're just saying that he needs to. You know what? I'm at the point make him Matt Forte and throw balls out of the backfield to him if he's not going to run between the
Forte was so good. People forgot all about Matt Forte.
See, my old ass can bring some
No, how old are you? No,
I am 25 years older than you.
He is
Craig. Show her the hair.
37.
Show her the hair, Craig.
Wait, how old?
Show her the hair.
No.
What? No, you got great hair. Look at that.
Look at that luscious.
It is. Look at that.
Flow,
That's great
man.
hair.
You look like you're in flock of seagulls.
It's your best quality.
Wait a minute. You just did but Fart, you're 26 and you know flock of seagulls. How do you know flock of seagulls?
26?
Spartan's
Me,
26.
I am.
Yeah. Oh wow.
No, I'm like 60.
No, you're not.
So, okay. Before I open up this can on Daniel Jones, I did want to say that listen, I want him to succeed. I think Zane, again, I dropped the Matt Forte thing that he's going to definitely catch more balls out of the backfield than he ever has, right? And we're all cool with that.
Yeah.
We're still going to need somebody to run between the tackles, and he's still, the guy. So at some point, you know what? Show me the nice flashy video. He looks great. I still just want to see. I've even said it. One time, run right up the gut behind the guard, drop a shoulder on a linebacker, and you'll never hear me say another thing. Just show me you can.
But he tried. No, those plays got blown up. I mean, what are you guys not understanding about
He was running behind.
This year.
He tried. He really tried. He played scared, and he had a horrible. That offensive line was ranked number 30 or 31.
They tracked 30 in the last 4 years.
Absolutely tried.
I don't care what it was.
Right.
My eyeball said they were dead last trash because I saw.
Yeah, they were trash. And look, from a woman's point of view, I have seen some Saquon Barkley workout videos and his shirt's off. I don't mind. You keep him coming. That's fine for me. But he tried, and he was definitely scared. He's going to be a million times better this year.
Yeah, simply because look, the O-line is Glowinski. He's going to be good, right? He's a pro. You know who it is. Let's see what happens with Lemieux. If that's the guy that the new regime has pegged, even though he's an old draft pick, that tells you something. Otherwise, he wouldn't be there, right? I have no idea what Feliciano is going to be, but he's there. So we will see. But your tackles, you got to be super excited about. The fact that you have a competent offense now, you won't run a Jason Garrett type offense. It doesn't fit Saquon Barkley.
Okay. All right. Then let's do this. This is where the rubber hits the road. Spartan, starting with you. It's a yes or no answer. Are you paying him next year?
I'm not giving you yes or no. I'll pay him if it's reasonable and he has a good season.
Yeah, that's the answer.
But it's not going to be reasonable. He's going to deserve a humongous payday.
No, why? How do you know his stats?
You tell him you should.
He's not taking anything less than what Chubb got 2 years ago. So
that was a good deal. The Chubb deal was a good deal. Fine, that's fine. Give him the Chubb deal.
So Zane, so if he has a good year, you're paying him.
Yeah, I mean, well, listen, we have cap space. If he's a good player, why would I let him go? For what?
Because running back positional value is
right. But I'm not giving, and we talked about, I'm not giving him a 6-year deal. I'll give him a 3-year deal, even a 4-year max. I'll front load it because he'll get his money. He'll be happy. Give him more guarantee, whatever, right? I'll just front load it and give him more guarantee. I just don't want him on the bet. I don't want
4 years. He may never see those 4 years. Nikki, you
he'll
pay
see
him
3
next
though.
year?
He's not 39, right? Like he'll see 3 years out of that. I think he'll be fine.
Nikki, you gonna pay him?
If he has a good year, yeah, I'm paying him.
What's a good year?
Yeah, no. Oh, obviously nothing like last year. Then I wouldn't pay him. But we have to see. Yeah, we got to see him back to form. But I don't. No, I would not do 6 years. That's crazy. No way. But
I can't see offering him anything more than a 3-year deal.
I could go with 3.
Yeah.
I'll go with 3.
What about 12, 6, and 10, right? 1,200 rushing, 600 receiving, 10 touchdowns. What are your thoughts? What are you doing with that? 1,800 all-purpose, 10 touchdowns. That's a thumbs down. You don't want him. Peace out. See you later.
Pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'll take him back, but 3 years, and then the money's going to have to
No,
come.
Craig said he's not even re-signing him for 1,800.
I'm struggling. I'm struggling with that.
What do you want? What do you want to re-sign him? Why'd you tell us that? What do you want?
I mean, I want to see him have more all-purpose yards because he's not going to run between the tackles, right? So you're going to put him in space. I want to see him have what he had his rookie year. He had 980 yards of receiving yards his rookie year.
Okay,
I want to see him.
So shift some of the numbers. Instead of going 12-6, go like 11-8.
I still want the 1,200 rushing, and I want put it this. Okay, Zane, you know where he's getting a 3-year deal for me? He's getting 2 with an option for a 3rd year if he matches his rookie year.
Okay. But at that point, he's going to want more than 3 years. Now you're setting a different bar. He's not
we're just asking, would you sign him?
Okay.
And to sign him, he's got to match his rookie year.
Fair enough.
Anybody? Any takers?
Oh, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Nikki, I apologize. I cut you off when you were about to go down that Daniel Jones
that's
discussion
okay.
because then it veered for 12 minutes here.
All right.
We're gonna get.
It was good talk. I didn't.
Saquon's gonna have a big year. I'll give you 2,000 all-purpose. I'll buy into that. I definitely think he's gonna get close to 1,200 rushing, and I can easily see him getting 800 there. They're gonna use some bit of like Alvin Kamara type thing going on, a better offense. I'll take I'll take that. He will resign. Right.
I'm writing it down.
Do you guys do that on the show? We do it on ours. We keep track.
Oh no, the belt. He's breaking the belt out.
My championship prediction is he will have a great year and we will re-sign him.
Green, Zane, would you be so kind to hold the belt up to the camera so everyone can actually see it, but turn it horizontal? Yeah. Little closer.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Now go to your right. Good. A little higher. Perfect. Look at that thing.
Wow.
Zane is now considered the belt man.
Yep, you can say my name, belt guy, not man.
Oh wait, it's belt guy. My bad.
Possibly belt man, because if license plate guy punches me in the face for taking the guy part, then I got to back off of that, right? So I got to respect what he does.
True. Or you could be like, what about like belt dude?
No, I'm not a dude kind of guy.
All right.
Belt guy sounds fantastic.
Belt
like
guy.
Cable guy.
Yeah,
cable, exactly.
Not like cable guy.
He's got a kick-ass beard to go with it. You got to teach Shane Lemieux how to grow a beard, man, because you can't be an offensive lineman with a little.
What's his name?
Mustache.
What name did they give him? Frenchie, nasty.
Yeah, no, I want him to have like a Viking name or something like that, man.
Who?
Shane Lemieux. This is still besides the point. We really got to get onto this.
Yeah, we deviated.
All right. Yes. And by the way, the sun must be setting wherever Nikki is, and the whole room got so
I know.
dark.
I'm sorry.
No, it's good. We can still see you. So you're good.
It was
All
nice
right,
and bright on my
for
show.
one, Nikki, tell me about the podcast. I know you're the co-host of it.
Hold on.
Tell me a little bit about the podcast.
Jump into podcast. She's gonna say something about Daniel Jones. Let's go.
I know we're gonna give it Donald Jones, but I wanted her to at least talk about the podcast because it's like, hey, she puts a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in it. I want to let people know.
True.
Yeah, no. So it's 3rd and 3 podcast. We are live every Wednesday at 7. Except today we actually did it at 6 o'clock because my co-hosts are traveling, so we're not doing it tomorrow. We did it today. It is basically NFL year round. We do touch on NBA. We don't really talk any baseball or hockey, but we do get into college basketball, and we are super competitive. Fantasy football. We do picks. We do betting. It's just a good time. We don't rehearse anything. We kind of just go off the cuff. We do have some great guests on from time to time, but it's a good time. It's, we get our same viewers in the chat. Everybody jumps in, gives us a hard time. I hate on the Cowboys. Everybody comes after me. I did not put Dak Prescott in my top 10, and oh man, did I piss them off. I woke up to so much.
I saw your top 10 list.
Yes, oh my God, my DMs are like, you don't know what you're talking about. This is why women shouldn't talk football.
Oh man.
Oh well, that's out of line.
But feel free to tweet those accounts on Twitter and just
let me know about those guys.
First of all, you're absolutely correct.
You see that? Everybody got a whole crew behind me.
Nobody here is dunking on Nikki because she didn't put Dak Prescott in there, because honestly, as a Giant fan, it's really hard to put Dak in your top 10. I mean, he may be a top 12 quarterback or top 10, but just purely that he's a Cowboy bumps him out of that spot.
Well, I do have him. You know what it was? I had Derek Carr at 11 and I had Dak Prescott at 12. So, but I certainly pissed them off. But I take joy in pissing off
your
the Cowboys
list. That's
fans.
perfectly fine. It's your list and you're allowed to have that. That's fine.
Fun.
But now,
so Wednesday at 7:00. Make sure you folks that are, looking for more football, make sure you tune in to third rate and Nikki. And I think you got a couple guys on there too. 2 or 3 hosts you have on there with you, right?
Yeah, it's 3 total. So it's myself, Jason Fierman, and Damian Adams. And we kind of started it out of the pandemic. We've known each other for a while, just being in fantasy league together and picks leagues together. And, right when the world shut down, there were no sports, nothing to do. So we just kind of hopped on a podcast together and it kept growing and people liked it. And here we are 2 years later.
Love it. Let's see. Housekeeping wise, I want to mention too, Fan Fest is coming up. Training camp is coming up. I have 12 passes that I'm going to be giving away for training camp. Whoever wants to go, we're going to brainstorm a little bit of an idea on how we give them away. Well, Zane, you're going to come with me, so you're okay.
I'll be there. I'll be covering some training camp days for Jersey Sporting News. So.
Oh, nice.
Oh, very nice. Then if you would be so kind, so last year at Fan Fest, we broadcasted or streamed live from the parking lot.
Oh, cool.
We're going to do that again this year, but I'm going to get a mobile hotspot because the Wi-Fi in the parking lot sucks. So if you're around the parking lot, we're going to be there. We're going to have Zane and Chris and the rest of the guys are going to be there. We'll be there at least 4 to 6 days. So let's make sure we connect when you're there.
Yeah.
And then let's bridge this topic since you're so passionate about it. For instance, you mentioned about, Derek Carr. I like Derek Carr. I think he's a gamer. I think, he's definitely very underrated. And you definitely hopped right on the fact that Jones wasn't the guy. Tell me a little bit about what's put you in that position. Were you always a non-Jones guy or just, hey, the body of work isn't there?
Yeah, I just don't think you draft quarterbacks out of Duke, right? And this is a perfect example and reason why. And the body of work is not there. We've yet to get a full healthy season out of him. He has flashes of greatness. And yeah, I see he's building some, chemistry with Wan'Dale Robinson. That's great and all. Finally, John Mara said, hey, we have not addressed this offensive line. So I'll give him a little bit of a benefit of a doubt with a new offensive line. And now we have a new coaching staff, new coordinator, that Jason Garrett offense from 1942, where we could even predict the plays was just, it was literally painful to watch, absolutely painful to watch. I'm not rooting for Daniel Jones to fail as a Giants fan. Obviously not. I just don't think he's the guy. And I think if you watch enough football, you can tell pretty quickly. So I don't think he ever really was the guy. I just think the way they handled this quarterback transition has been terrible. And I'm not going to be mad if we see Tyrod Taylor. I'm a Tyrod Taylor fan, and I wish he's had a series of unfortunate events happen to him. So if we see him, I'm not mad at it. But no, I don't think Daniel Jones is the guy. I just don't see it.
Can I ask you this, Nikki? What would Daniel Jones have to do? Because, I think a lot of people are, even if they're Jones supporters, they're on the fence. In your opinion, what would Jones have to do? What would his season have to look like next year for him to get that franchise quarterback status and earn that next contract?
Well, how about let's start with just get a full season in. Let's just do that. We have yet to see that. We're judging him every year off of 6, 7, 8 games. And no, I know the supporting cast around him hasn't been good, but just can you make something happen? I'm not even asking for a lot, but can we make something happen? You sit here, you watch Jalen Hurts and stuff, and I'm my God, this would why can't we just have a decent quarterback? It's just I'm
gonna throw Jalen Hurts under the bus here just because I hate the Eagles like you hate the Cowboys. I hate them way more.
Yeah, I hate the Eagles too.
I hate them way more though. It's not even close.
I agree. I hate the Eagles.
I'm from Jersey, right? There's a geographical hate that
growing up with the Eagles fans is brutal.
Yeah. So the thing with Jalen Hurts is his coach is smart enough to know that when you have a top 5 offensive line and he can run that way, I'm just gonna design runs. Because when that boy turned one-dimensional, the Giants had 4 picks off him. San Francisco in the playoffs had him completely locked down because he couldn't throw it. So I mean, from that, I'm just taking a shot at the Eagles. Not Jalen Hurts the person. I like you. I want you to succeed, just in a different jersey.
We still
Yeah, I
want
mean,
you to
he's
succeed.
not much of a thrower.
Yet, right? I mean, he can absolutely, the talent is there, but again, it's how you get molded. Again, what does your coaching staff do? To Nikki's point, I feel like if Daniel Jones even had a shot, I think we've already ruined the guy. I think he's like, his processing has probably been ruined. One read, all this stuff. I don't know if he can overcome it in just 1 year, because that's all you're basically doing. He's got a 1 year shot to reverse everything. That's a lot to ask of anybody, especially
Nikki, can I ask you this as well? Do you think Giants fans, I just want to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think Giants fans have a lower threshold for what they expect out of quarterbacks because the Giants were able to win Super Bowls with the likes of Eli Manning and Phil Simms and Hostetler? And don't get me wrong, Eli's a Hall of Famer. Simms, he's always going to be a guy on the cusp. But it's like the Giants never quite had that Elway Montana type player. Do you think Giants fans might look at an average season next year and be like, oh, this is good enough, and then Twitter will be up in arms? Or I don't know what your thoughts are expectations are going to be for that.
Yeah, no, I don't think an average season is good enough at this point. I really don't. I think the fan base is just, a lot of us have just had it, right? It's like, it just, the season's over by Halloween or week 1 of October every single year for like 7-8 years in a row. So no, I actually think an average season's not going to do it. If you're a real fan, then you're not going to be happy with an average season. The only thing I'll say is if we see incremental progress, then that's fine. Like if we're progressively getting better and, we're minimizing turnovers and mistakes, stuff like that. But I don't think an average season's.
And I want to see it beyond the stats. Can he slide? Can he get off the one read where he just sticks to his guy? Can he move around that way? Can he throw a little bit better on the run? For some reason, when this guy doesn't play action, he just loses all mechanics, and he's absolutely garbage outside the pocket. And it shocks me because his mechanics are pretty good. Like he's so good out of the pocket. When he comes out of it, it's just
he can't sense to play around, and that's his other big issue too. And then, it's like you couple of. I just feel like if he does have like an average season, and one of the sports writers came on the show to talk about this, and I forget who it was. Craig, you got to remind me, but
Dunleavy.
Yeah, the worst thing that could happen is if he has an average season, because half the Giants fans are going to say he should come back. That's good enough. He improved from last year, and the other half are going to be, look, that's 4 years he never proved greatness. Why would you re-sign a quarterback?
When we interviewed Orlovsky from ESPN, he said, he was kind of thinking he could be around an 18th ranked quarterback, kind of like a Tannehill light. And then this year came and he had injured and didn't play. And then we interviewed Ryan Dunleavy from the Post, and he had said, you want him to ball out or have a terrible year, because if he has an okay year, they're going to franchise him and he's going to wind up being around for another year. You still don't know who your quarterback is. The hardest thing I think with Jones too is like, it's kind of like a David Carr scenario where if you get hit enough and you get blasted enough, or you start seeing ghosts and you got a lot of people around your feet when they're not really there. You think they're there. You're fumbling, you're rushing the ball. You're not reading more than the main hot read. You're not looking off. He's got a lot of things. John Mara did say, hey, we did screw up this kid. I know there are plenty of people out there that think that's just BS from the owner. But realistically, if his name isn't Daniel Jones and it's anybody else, you would say, yeah, you guys screwed this guy up. Let's say he came from UCLA or he came from Stanford. Like, they still screwed this kid up, with, just bad players around him. Just bad players around him.
They did. But no matter what happens next year, look, if he didn't prove it, if he, just because he has a bad surrounding cast, if he does not prove at all in a 4-year stretch, the ability to play at an elite level, got to move on. And we can't afford to contract you.
So let's do this. Nikki, who's the quarterback for the Giants in 2023?
Oh, my gosh. I don't know. Probably Daniel Jones, because you guys are right. If he, I don't know, let's say they have 8, 9, 10 wins. Yeah, probably.
Zane, who's the quarterback in 2023?
Me? No, that's terrible. It should absolutely not be me.
Okay.
Probably Tyrod Taylor bridging a rookie.
So you think they're going to draft one this come April?
I do, because I just don't think he can change it in a year, man. I'm sorry. Unless, if it's that scenario where it's just like average to whatever and they just franchise him, okay, whatever. But really and truly, I just don't think he can turn that much around. It's really asking a lot. He gives, you know what kind of vibes he gives me? I'll give you a name. Blake Bortles, man. He gives me so many Blake Bortles vibes all the time. Little flash, rookie, we can't give up on him. Sneaks into playoffs, has one good run, gets a 3-year deal, flops right out.
Spartan, give it to me.
Will Levis out of Kentucky.
So you think Will Levis is going to be the quarterback in 2023?
He's my guy.
Or even or Tyrod as a bridge.
We don't need a bridge.
Oh, he's quarterback. All right, Mike. I'm not looking into this guy. Mike's
See,
ready.
what's going to happen is they're going to
No
win
more
like
bridges.
9,
No
10
more like
games.
we'll just go in, you know, we'll figure it out if we can play. Let's just win the freaking ball game. Get an elite quarterback and just go from there.
Damn.
And to Nikki's point, that's what they're going to do, right? They're going to win just enough games to have to give up too much to go get a QB.
Yeah, they will. They'll win just enough games to have them.
Well, look.
Well, then you can find me at a bar very late that night as I watch us get the third quarterback option in the draft.
Let's do this. That is, I mean, it's a lot of good points. I mean, I know I've heard a lot of Will Levis. I heard people don't like him. There's the kid from Miami.
Yeah, what's the Miami kid's name? Van Dyke?
Yeah. And then there's a kid from Boston College. I mean, there are 5 or 6 really, good quarterbacks.
The other one that's pressing is the Ohio State guy.
Yeah, there's still Stroud and there's still Hall.
I am not. I'm in the minority. I'm not a Stroud guy.
I'm not either. I do have a thing against quarterbacks that play at elite programs against insufficient competition, and it's proven Ohio State quarterbacks, when they go to teams that aren't very good in the NFL.
Careful what you say, Spartan, because you know what you're going to get? You're going to get this tomorrow. Scout the player, not the helmet. I get it all. Scout the player, not the helmet. You're like,
the better the quarterback performs against Michigan State, the worse they turn out in the NFL. I promise you.
I know.
And he put up 59 on the Spartans last year, man. So he's not going to cut it in the NFL.
All right. So let's do this. Let's tie it up with this one. You're listening to another episode of the Giants Guys, brought to you by Astroflave. By the way, which is our sponsor. All you guys that are into CrossFit, pounding plates, whether you're heavy gym rat, weekend warrior, whatever, Astroflave, New Jersey company, Jersey Strong, 5 locations. New Age Supplement Company, they're sponsor of our show. I want to make sure I give them a good pop because guess what? It's called Astroflave because the flavor is out of this world. It's not that chalky, crappy crap that you buy in a big box store. You cannot buy it in a big box store. Astroflave will be sent right to your house. They have unbelievable supplements on any level you want. The chocolate peanut butter cup is technically my favorite, but I think you guys should look for yourself. It's astroflave.com. Follow them on Twitter.
And they're on Amazon. You can find them on Amazon too. So,
So check those guys out. We love them. They support us, and we all use their products. I use it as a meal replacement because I'm too busted. I can't do a whole lot of lifting anymore because I need like 9 surgeries. But it's a great meal replacement. There's no junk in it, no extra sugar. So thanks to the Astroflave folks. NYGiantsRush.com. Check out all the content up there. Michael Stewart, The Truth, and Chris, John, those guys have the day off. Let's wrap this up with this. Give me how many wins you're expecting from the Giants in 2022. Spartan, going to start with you.
How many am I expecting? If we got a bell curve right now, I'm saying that middle point is tipping right at the 7.5 game mark. So 7 or 8.
That's a betting man right there at 7.5, folks. Go ahead, Nikki. What do you got for me? Give me something juicy.
I'm gonna go 9.
Oh, I got like chills. I was like, oh.
Now I'm gonna go 9 because they're gonna win just enough to get really excited. And
9
Daniel
wins.
Jones is
9 wins is going to put them in the playoffs. No, we have.
we're going to miss the playoffs. Like there's going to be some fluke win that afternoon that puts us out of contention. Come on, Craig.
Well, 9 wins. I mean, like with the 17 games, it's just 9 wins. You're right. Could technically keep you on the outside.
Remember, we won 10 games, I think, twice, and we're on the outside.
No, it was one.
Thanks for reminding us, Zane. Those were some fun years, weren't they?
Hey, you're welcome, buddy. I would like to bring up the pain.
2010 New York Giants. Yeah,
I'm writing this down.
Going to bed with that thought.
I am writing this down because I don't know 9 wins, man. Wow, that's so cool. 9 wins would feel so good. It'd be a lot of fun. We'd all be having so much more fun.
Yeah, we'd have a winning season.
Dude, you know what it's like trekking to the stadium every week, and then it's like winter and it's snowy, or it's Monday night and it's like 2 a.m. and I'm still driving home because I'm like down here by Zane. We're all the way
You
down
don't
by
care that
Philly.
you're only going to get like 2 hours of sleep that night. It just doesn't
Sucks.
matter.
I'm too poor for that week in, week out experience. I'll just be at home, bro.
All right, Zane.
I'm not going to pay to see losers for all these years.
Oh well, I support my crew, win or loss.
Look at me.
I'm just saying, I support them. I go. I can't not go. I mean, like would feel.
I support them too. I watch them on TV. They get ad revenue. It's a win-win.
And you get a big mountain of buffalo wings while you're doing it because it's cheaper to do that.
We don't have a buffalo wing sponsor, so we can't do that. Zane, how many wins?
Oof. I think they'll actually do well against the division this year. So Nikki said 9, right? I think she's kind of on track. But I don't want to give the same number. So I'll say 10. Screw it.
Oh,
Dude, you might as well just get up, put the belt on right now, and like walk around with the belt on because you just said
I said 10.
I love it.
Shouldn't you be like doing some kind of like flex or something like that?
Yeah.
Flex, man. Like I got chicken nuggets to flex. Like,
all right,
Oh.
I'm writing this down right now.
I flex
Zane-
chicken nuggets, baby.
Zane Penton. All right, so I gotta say I'm impressed with all of you because they won 4 games last year.
Yeah.
It's a humongous leap with all new staff.
Is it though?
Like-
Is it though?
No.
Yeah.
The Bengals just went to the Super Bowl and they were complete scrubs the year before.
And
Wait, who was?
Here's why.
Bengals.
Here's why I'll say, is it though? Out of those 4 wins, how many could have gone either way?
Early on, a lot.
If everybody doesn't drop every ball thrown away.
Realistically, they were probably at 6, maybe 7, right? Realistically, they could have gotten 6.
I remember that second half of the season was a complete tanker at that point. Like, we had no talent out
So
there.
realistically, they had 4. Realistically, they were probably closer to 6. Improved offensive line and
They had
offense.
4
I don't
nice
think
wins,
10
too.
is a
They beat
stretch.
good teams last year.
I don't
All
think it's like a super stretch.
You guys are beating me up. I see.
All right, Craig, what's your lousy answer to put a complete damper on me?
Go ahead. 4. What do you say? 2.
You have to say 11 to keep
No,
us on a good
no.
note. You know what, Craig? Say 11. Just do me a favor and say 11. Come on.
17-0, Craig. Do it.
It's never coming out of my mouth.
Bet the house.
I gotta say, like you said, I'm with Zane on not giving the same answer because I was leaning on 7. But since now we're playing this game that of who says what, I'm going with 8 wins. I'm going with 8 wins because
That's Mike's number though. You can't take Mike's number. He said 8.
He said 7.5.
That's 8.
Well, that rounds up to 8. That's a mathematical.
No.
You can't pick that.
How do you win half a game, Craig?
Yeah, you can't win half the game, Craig.
I'm not. But he said 7.5. So he's
said
not.
if I was at
He's
7.5
not
games,
committing.
Drop
He's
the
not
decimal.
committing to 8, or he would have said 8.
That's semantics.
It's what I do best, baby.
Craig, I can't
Fine.
defend
You
you on
want me?
Twitter
I'll
this
take
week.
I'll take the under 7. Son of a bitch.
Loser talk.
Oh,
Craig.
that's even worse.
How could you?
Because you wouldn't let me take my original, so I had to cave and I had to go with the under.
So we
But
got
by the
7,
way,
we
that's
got
still
7, 8, 9, 10 here. So I mean, somebody's either gonna be happy or we're all gonna be sad. That's all it is.
YouTube channels, the Giants guys. Make sure you get on there and you subscribe. People, for
Before we
us,
go, real
please
quick.
just hit the button, subscribe.
Before we go, I'm gonna throw a quick couple questions at Nikki because she mentioned fantasy football. So I'm gonna throw some real
Go
quick
ahead,
ones.
hurry up, but don't
Don't think too
in 5
long
more
here,
minutes,
right?
her whole room's gonna be black. You're not gonna
I
see her
know.
anymore.
But we can see her, so it's fine. Forget the room, right? We can see her. We're all good. So, give me quick names. If you have to take somebody in fantasy from the Giants at each position, forget QB because you only got like one option, right? Give me a wide receiver, running back. Give me a tight end. Just give me names that you, if you had to take from fantasy from the Giants, who are you taking? And then on defense,
Like, nobody.
on defense,
No,
but you
I'm
have to,
probably
right?
not.
On
I'm
defense.
probably not taking any Giants. And also, So here's the thing. I'm actually very good at fantasy football, and I know my enemies are watching. So you know what? I'm taking everybody. Go ahead, take Sterling Shepard. Go ahead, take Saquon. So that
Look at her. She's all strategic.
I'm throwing. Yeah, no, I'm not going to say who I'd actually take because I got a couple drafts coming up, and I know they're going to try to.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
wait a
Who
second.
would you suggest for people who want to pick up Giants? Forget if you're going to or not. Who would you suggest at those positions that would have any value worth taking?
Okay, that's a better question. Who has value?
Saquon might have some value. I would go Saquon. I don't hate that.
RB2?
Yeah, I don't hate it.
Galladay?
No, I can't stand him. No.
Oh, wow.
I love it. No, I love it. I'm with you.
I can't stand him. He is the
74.
laziest
Yes.
wide receiver. He wants to
Yes.
sit here and complain.
Yes.
You can't lay out for shit.
Yes.
I know you didn't like it. You're getting in beef with the head coaches. You don't like the offense. So you know what? You were the same way in Detroit too. You got all this money to do nothing. So
Craig is.
Why did we start the show with
right now
this?
with your
This
comments.
is the take we should have started the show with. Nikki, where's this been all game?
Yeah.
wait,
You know
what do
what?
you mean? No, I do this on my show all the time. Somebody says one thing and just like go off.
Dude,
but I
What
did
can
just
we set
do
you
that
off?
on my
What
show.
are, what are
so.
other words that set you off?
First of
A
all,
lot.
I'm
You
wondering
guys don't
if-
know me like that yet. So I was like, I'm not sure.
Yeah, where she's warming up to us, right?
Fair enough.
The first thing I got to know is like Zane might be in one of your fantasy leagues under a different name, and he was trying to sabotage you
Exactly.
there.
That's what I mean. People do that to me. So you trust no one.
So
in
I
fantasy.
appreciate she was very strategic and took the high road there, and she nails the $74 million wide receiver that does nothing every time camp comes around. He's got the red jersey on. Like I'm totally with her. That
Nikki,
cat
do
is
you
a
do
waste of
IDP
cash.
leagues? Do you do IDP leagues or just straight up defense?
What did you say?
Do you do IDP leagues?
The straight up defense.
Just straight up defense? Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, listen. One, thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah.
Make sure you follow the her on her podcast with her folks because they're actually very good at what they do, and they're on Wednesday at 7:00. And you guys should definitely tune in for them. Make sure you're checking out and following Zane and Spartan and the rest of our guys. Please, if you want to get involved with the Ring of Honor, it is the Monday night game against Dallas. If you want to walk in wearing a Leonard Marshall shirt, let's go, people. I mean,
Mark
seriously.
Thompson, I know you want that Leonard Marshall autographed shirt.
All right. Well, if you want the autograph version, like I said, I'm going to do half autograph, half non. But the money goes to a super cool charity, which is the Leonard Marshall Foundation, which is all about safety on college campuses. So we're going to donate the proceeds up to the shirts. So one of you want to walk in and support Leonard Marshall. Second all-time in tackles, third all-time in sacks. It's finally going to the Ring of Honor. You want to show up or you just want to rep it at home, okay? And rock it at home. Please let us know because we've ordered them up and we hope we can get them into your hands and then we can donate some cool money to a super cool. I think.
Are you going to have any of those shirts ready for FanFest? Are we having any of those shirts out there?
It's going to be super close, man, because they're supposed to come in like that Thursday, like the day before. So if it's one day late, we're going to miss the Fan Fest. Okay. So it's cutting them really close, right? Because, I had to, get them made, shipped out, get them in, but we'll be close. So, but if you want a shirt, autographed or non-autographed, it's $20 for regular shirt, $35 for the autograph one. Please let us know, okay? And of course, Giants guys. Brought to you by Astroflave. Check us out. The YouTube channel, Giants Guys. And what a better guest that like ends the show on like saying how bad Kenny Galladay is. Pretty awesome, huh?
Yes. One of my many epic rants. You guys tune into 3rd and 3. If you like me getting set off, it really doesn't take much. So my whole show is me ranting most of the time.
Nikki, if you had to choose between Daniel Jones and Dak Prescott, who is it?
For what?
Playing a quarterback.
For just a team?
Just a team.
Yeah, no, obviously Dak Prescott. I'm not, not an idiot.
I just sometimes listen when it comes to like Zane said, when it comes to Eagles, I'd rather start Blake Bortles according to Zane than having Eagles be starting on my team anywhere.
I hate all of them. Philadelphia, right?
Yeah, they're the worst.
Listen, for the record, I like Philadelphia. They got great restaurants, great theater.
They do.
No knock on the city geographically whatsoever. I'm speaking about the inhabitants.
Hey, I don't hate the Eagles. I hate the Eagles fans.
This has been a long closing credits, everybody.
Thanks for watching another episode of the Giants Guys. Peace.